Hi everyone, Flavia here and welcome to day 10 of Spellbinders 2025 Crafty Advent Calendar series. So without further ado, let's go ahead and find number 10, which is right over here. By the way, yesterday we did open this box down here, number 9, which was a beautiful bag of embellishments. And today we're gonna find out what's inside this very small section over here. So since this is a square section and it is not so small, my guess is that, I don't know, maybe a stamp set? I think it's time for another stamp set. Let's see. So as we open here, oh my goodness, this is really cute. Here is an image of the surprise inside, which looks like it's a piece of toast. It could definitely be a stamp. Let's see. Nope, it is another die set. Yay! I actually prefer die sets. I like die cutting, it's one of my favorite techniques. So let's take a peek. So here we have 2 plates that we're supposed to layer to create the piece of toast. Then I'm assuming these are the legs. And here is a... Let me look at the picture actually. Yeah, so this plate, yeah, this can be the jelly on the toast with a smiley face. So that's cute. So this is gonna go right on top of these previous 2 pieces. Then we have this plate over here to cut out the arms. So these are the legs, these are the arms. Usually plates like this is to cut out small details such as the cheeks for this character. Then we have this long plate over here, and I think that sometimes when Spellbinders give you a plate like this is so you can cut out the piece that you can glue in the back that will show through the cutout for small details such as the eyes and the mouth. So I'm assuming that's what this is for. And last but not least, we have this piece to cut out a heart. So let's begin creating. Okay, so to save us some time off screen, I cut out all of the needed pieces and I'm gonna make 2 slices, and the top layer I cut it from 2 different colors of cardstock to resemble a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So to assemble 1 slice, here I have the largest piece. I cut it from a lighter color of brown cardstock. So the brown piece is only gonna be visible, only the edges are gonna be visible, and that's supposed to resemble the crust of a slice of bread. Then on top I'm gonna add the white die cut piece, and then the spread. So this one's gonna be the peanut butter that I cut from a different shade of brown cardstock. Before I glue that, I'm actually gonna add this long piece in the back, this one that I cut it using this plate over here. So I'm gonna glue this in the back, and as I said before, the black cardstock is only gonna show through the cutout for the eyes and the mouth. So here is a closer look. Now I can glue this on top of the white die cut layer. And last but not least, I'm gonna add 2 very tiny pieces that I cut from pink cardstock. That is right over here. So in this triangle tray, I have all of the smaller die cut pieces. So this pink one is gonna go over each side of its face. So these are supposed to be the pink cheeks. Super cute. Okay, so oh my goodness, look at this, super cute. So this is the peanut butter slice. Now we're gonna make another slice with jelly, and I cut this piece from Spellbinders cardstock in the color violet. So again, I'm gonna glue this white layer on top of the brown one. Then in the back of this purple one, I'm gonna add this long piece that I cut from black cardstock. Now I can flip this and glue this layer on top of the white one. So again, I'm gonna add the pink cheeks to the face of this character, and Here is the second one. Now we need to add the arms and legs. So I cut many pieces so I can stack them up because they are very thin die cuts and I need to make them stronger because I might end up adding dimension to these characters later. So I need the legs and arms to be really sturdy. So this is the cutout for the legs and I'm going to stack 2 pieces and only then I will glue this to the body. So I'm gonna add a little bit of glue to the top section of this piece and then add the large piece of toast on top. And I'm gonna do the same thing for this other one. So here are the pieces for the arms and each arm is gonna have 2 layers of cardstock, just as I did for the legs to make it stronger since it's such a small and thin die cut piece. Once that is done, I can adhere these arms to each one of these characters. I'm gonna glue these arms in such a way that it looks like they are holding hands. So this one's gonna be downwards. Actually, I'm gonna glue this to this other arm before I glue this other arm to the other character. Perfect. So here we have the peanut butter and jelly sandwich holding hands. Actually, I wanted... What did I do? I know I'm gonna undo this. What I want is the slice with the peanut butter on this side because, I don't know, peanut butter comes first. Peanut butter and then the slice of bread with jelly. Am I crazy for thinking like this? Maybe, but it's okay. Now I'm gonna glue the arms back on this side and then the other side. Much better. Okay, so here is the peanut butter first and then the jelly couple holding hands. Here I have the die cut pieces to make the heart that I cut it from the same color as the peanut butter piece and the jelly, but we're gonna assemble this later. So let's now move on to the card base. So here I have a note card. This is a side folding A2 size note card and we're gonna create a scene with a landscape orientation. At the front of my note card, I'm gonna adhere this pattern paper that I cut to 5¼ inches by 4, I think. Actually, that is not true. I think this is a little bit smaller than that because I didn't have much paper left. So this beautiful pattern paper is from, let me see if I can find it. So I got this from this pattern paper by Spellbinders with Kelly Banks. It comes in a 6x6 paper pad as well as in a 12x12 pack. And the pages are just gorgeous, very fun and colorful. And I chose this one for my note card. So I'm gonna begin by gluing this pattern paper to the front of my A2 size note card. I'm gonna try to place this right in the center. So at the front we're gonna have this fun pattern paper and the white cardstock showing around the edges. So now we can go ahead and glue these cuties. And for the sentiment, I cut out this sentiment banner that reads "Love You." To cut out this sentiment, I cut it from Spellbinders Mural Gold cardstock for some sparkle, and I actually used a die plate included in this die set, part of the Spellbinders Crafty Advent Calendar for day 4. So with day 4 we got this really fun stamp set, and with this set we can create stamps like this that comes with 3 different options. One is thank you, the other one is this one that I'm gonna use today, love you, and we also have a third option that reads hello you. So that is what I am going to use for today's note card. So now I need to think about the placement of these pieces, and it could either go down here or right on the top or on the top right corner. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the top right corner. So I'm gonna begin by gluing this sentiment in place right over here, and then I am going to flip this and actually add foam adhesive in the back. Okay, now I'm gonna put this at the bottom of this pattern paper panel, and now we can begin assembling the die cut heart. So I'm going to temporarily place it where I think I want it to go, and once I like the placement I will glue all of these pieces together. Okay, so I think I like this, so I'm gonna go ahead and glue them in place. So since I have an extra one, I'm gonna go ahead and glue this inside the note card. So for me, the easiest way to glue these pieces together is to make them fit like a puzzle. And once that is done, I will hold both pieces with self-lock tweezers. Then I apply glue in the back and glue them both at once. So here is the note card. We are almost done. Now I think I want to add some gloss to the peanut butter and jelly. To do so, I'm just gonna apply Ranger Glossy Accents on top of the peanut butter layer and the jelly die cut layer. So this is gonna take a while to dry, so I'm gonna set this aside and work on the envelope. So I'm gonna use a craft color envelope to match the note card, the characters, and to make this note card match, I am simply going to add a piece of cardstock strip to the flap of this craft envelope, and I cut this from the same pattern paper. However, the design is a little bit bigger because I cut this from a 12 by 12 paper pack. So once I glue this to the flap of the envelope, I'm gonna trim off the excess, and then on top of this pattern paper cardstock strip, I'm gonna add a golden one that I cut from Spellbinder's Miro Gold cardstock. Now to make this look more finished, I'm gonna round the edges of the flap of this envelope, and here is a closer look. Okay everyone, so here is the completed note card. So I did let the Ranger Glossy Accents dry for a couple of hours. So here is a closer look. Unfortunately, I did get a couple of bubbles over this one, but I don't know. I'm gonna leave it as it is. And here is the jelly one, no bubbles. That's what we want. And then between the two of them, we have the die cut hearts and the sentiment love you. And inside it is blank, and I did add the leftover die cut peanut butter and jelly heart on this corner. And here is the matching envelope. I hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as I did playing with today's surprise. Remember to tune in tomorrow for the reveal of the surprise behind door number 11. Have a wonderful day, take care, and see you again tomorrow.